YouTube fam, what's happening? It is Saturday, 5 December 2020, and before I go any further into the intros, into the footage that we use to pay those bills, I just want to say congratulations to two of our contest winners. That is Gregory Santos and Benjamin. I heard from Gregory already. Greg, thanks. Appreciate your address. We've got everything packaged up. I've sent you the tracking information. Shipping that box out to you shortly. Benjamin, we haven't heard from you yet as of this taping, so we're going to give you a few more days. If we do not hear back from Benjamin, folks, if we do not hear back from Benjamin in a timely manner, we're going to rerun the drawing for the SCX10.3 rock lights so we can give someone else an opportunity to win that item. So Benjamin, we need you to contact us and get back to us soon. Please, it's free. You want it. Yo, man, give us your information so we can send it out to you. So let's move on. We got the SCX10.3 in front of us. And what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how you can turn this, and we're going to use this magic cloth. All right, we're going to change up the look of this outside of this SCX10.3. All right, and I'm going to show you how you can turn this into this. There it is, fam. Check it out. We are truly armored up. Boy, tell me that ain't dope. Look at that. It's subtle. Look at that armor. Look at those plates, baby. Very clean, very good looking. And the same's on the other side. So if you want to find out and see how I did it, stick around, stay tuned. But before we go any further, yo, we got to roll that intro footage. All right, fam, we're back over on the bench, and I have some items here, and as you can see, it's from a company called HTECH. Now, I found HTECH on a whim, just on my Instagram feed, and I saw some of the things this cat had, and I was like, man, this is pretty dope. You know, I'd like to get that. And if you remember before, I had a video that I just posted not too long ago for the SCX10, and I believe the title was Armor Up or something like that. And basically what I did was, you know, I sprayed the roof of the SCX10.3 with some paint and some spray on truck bed liner, and that's a little bit of armor for the top. But what I have in front of us right now from HTECH is some actual body armor plates out of aluminum, custom made by this cat, and I'll get his information up over at HTECH for the SCX10.3. So right now I'm just going to go over a few of the items and pieces and talk about some of the tools that you're going to need to install this. Then we're going to change the camera angle up and actually do an install on the vehicle. So let me go ahead and put this disclaimer out front now. This upgrade is not for the faint of heart. And this is not, and the reason why, as you can tell probably before I'll crack this bag open even more than I have, this is not a stick-on, glue-on, double-sided tape-on, servo tape-on type installation, all right? You're going to have to drill into your Alexa end body of your SCX10.3, all right? So with that in mind, if you decide and you want to do this, and I'll leave a link up how to get in contact with this cat for this particular kit, you're going to have to drill holes into your SCX10.3, which means you have to get it done right the first time. Because if you don't, you may have some extra air holes, all right, some extra ventilation in your SCX10.3 that you did not start out with. So you have to take your time and do this. So let's talk about the kit real quick. And depending on which kit you get, okay, now as you can see right now, I have a piece in here. Let me open this up and take it out. That has the word Gladiator. And I believe this is it's like I can't say screen print because it's some sort of print on here, okay? It has the word Gladiator. This is for the tailgate. All right, this is for the rear of the SCX10.3. And this is going to be fastened on, as you can see, with 8 hex head fasteners, all right? This is going to, so you have to drill 8 holes in the rear. This is made out of aluminum, and I believe it's got some type of powder type coating on it to give it some protection, which this is going to protect your SCX10.3. It's going to look really cool armored up with these pieces. So again, this goes on the back. You're gonna have to drill 4 holes. And when we change cuts, and I'm gonna do this install with you know, little to no talking, just a lot of music, you'll be able to see me do the install. Then we'll see, as you've already seen before, I should say, how this is gonna look once it's all finished. But these are all aluminum pieces. Have a little bit of flex in them, which is fine because they're thin. You know, they're not really thick, they're thin. Let me get my caliper out so that we can take a quick measurement on this actual piece. All right, let me get this caliper on. Let's zero it out. All right. And on this piece, at its thicker end, because below the word Gladiator, it is beveled. You can see a little beveling right here. All right. But at its thickest, this is 1.92 millimeters in thickness at its thickest point for this particular part. Okay, so what you receive is 2 bags. Each bag has all of the armor pieces and mounting hardware, to mount that armor up to your SCX10. So right off the bat, this is for the rear tail. Here's some other pieces just in the plastic. You'll see where those go once I start it. All right, and you'll get a second bag with more armor pieces. And I'm not gonna, you can take those out, but you can see these pieces right here. These are the portions at the bottom of your SCX10, below the driver's side and passenger side front and rear doors that your Lexan body would normally fit in below. I gotta see how that's gonna fit as far as the install onto the Lexan. And again, all the mounting hardware. And you have, let's see what we're gonna need. Let's open up one of these bags of hardware. Get that out of there. And it looks like these may be 1.5 or 2.0 millimeter hexes. Let me get my hex head. This is a 2.0 and I think this is too big. It's probably 1.5. Yep, looks like we're gonna need 1.5 millimeters. Yep, that's perfect. So right here, let me get that focus. 1.5 millimeter. There's the hex right there. So we're gonna need the 1.5 millimeter to get this locked down, and you receive a hex, and you also receive okay, not sure where I left off. My memory card was full, so I stopped recording, but if I did not speak of this already, the fasteners will require a, get down in there, 1.5 millimeter hex. So you'll get a 1.5 millimeter hex head fastener, and you will also receive a, where'd it go? It's around here somewhere. But you'll also receive a nut, 1.5 millimeter internal diameter nut for this, and that's all in the packaging to install these pieces. So again, this is going to require you drilling holes into your Lexan body. If you are unsure of, if you're a novice, if you're afraid to do this, but still want to try to do this upgrade of these armor pieces for your Gladiator, I suggest you do one thing first, is one piece at a time. All right, of course, you got to remove the body from the chassis, mate the piece up to the body, use some painter's tape or some sort of fastener, a temporary fastener, to place this on the vehicle first, and then use this as your template. All right, use your holes as your template on the armor and drill each hole out with a small drill bit, which I'll find the drill bit in a second, and then fasten it down that way. If you're afraid that you're going to mess up your Gladiator, hey, don't attempt it. You know, I wouldn't try this. If you want to try to glue this down, you probably can. But again, if you do use some sort of adhesive, and once it's set, it's set. So if it's crooked, you're done. All right, you may remove it and you may tear up the Lexan in the process, but this is going to look really good with all of these 1.5 millimeter hex head fasteners attached to the armor, which is attached to the body of the SCX10.3 Gladiator. It's going to look really dope. Now, I requested mine with just the rear armor with the word Gladiator on it. The other armor plates, such as this one, They have some decoration on them, but I did not want that decoration. I wanted everything to be plain except for the rear tailgate for the word Gladiator. So when you get in contact with my man over at HTECH, you can let him know what you want, you know, what type of kit you want, so on and so forth, and he can make it work for you. He does other things as well. I think he does custom wheels out of aluminum. Hey, the price that you're going to pay for this is worth it, in my opinion. And I can't tell you how much I paid for this because it's going to differ from set to set based off of what you want. So you can't use mine as a baseline. But again, it's going to give you another bit of standout quality for your rig. And it's going to look really dope. I mean, trust me, it's going to look dope with this armor on there. And I wanted it plain to kind of stay with the minimal plain look that I'm going with my Jeep in that, you know, the dark gray. So enough of this talking. Let's move over. I'm going to change angles, get a better shot so I can put the actual body down on the bench. Then we're going to start drilling, fastening, putting it together, and you'll see how this works. So fam, it's time to cue up that music. Let's get this together. Let's roll.
What, something else?
What's the matter with me? One other thing.
So the first thing I'm going to install is the rear Gladiator. Let me make sure that focus is nice and neat. There it is. The rear Gladiator piece of armor. And to do that, since I'm starting in the rear, what I'm going to have to do is, and it's going to make it so much simpler, I'm going to have to remove the rear piece of the bed from the main body, and that's going to make it simpler for me to do that. So I also wanted to show you that I'm using, or to remove the bed from the body, first of all, you're going to need a 2.0 hex driver, all right, and that's to remove the bed. You have 4 hex bolts located on each of the 4 corners of the bed from the underside. You have to pull those out in order to remove the bed. And if you want to take the bed completely away from the body, you'll have to remove, well, you don't have to, you have to remove at least 1 bolt here from each rear fender. And then there are 4 fasteners that attach the bed to the rear of the body, as well as fasteners on the bed rails on the top side that help give it some structural rigidity to remove everything from it. That's if you choose to. I'm going to try to do this without removing all the bolts, but I'm just letting you know I'm starting from the rear and doing that first because I think that's going to take me the most time as far as getting everything centered. So I'm going to remove all these bolts, change camera angles after that if I have to, center up the armor on the rear portion, drill the holes, and to drill, I'm using a 12 volt DeWalt 12 volt max DeWalt drill, and I've got my chuck set on the drill for the drilling icon, so right here. And then I'm using the smallest drill bit that I could find that I thought was good. I don't know which size this is, 13/64. I don't know. I don't have my drill bit case organized, but this is what I'm going to use to drill my holes to attach the armor to the body. So let me get that out of the way, and then we're going to go ahead and do a little muzak, refocus. Do a little muzak and remove this bed. So here we go. All right, fam. Now we've got all the bolts removed and we've removed that inner bed, which is going to make it much simpler. Let me get this around into focus. Put my shop rag so I don't scratch up anything. Try not to, at least. All right, and that makes it a lot easier to get back here, right in here. All right, because this is where we're going. This is the back side. I've already removed the Jeep decal from here. Hard to see, but you'll see it in a second. And that'll make it easier to drill the holes and attach with the nuts on the back side here. So that's just a step I figured I'd do. If you want to try to, get your hands and your fingers and your needle nose pliers down in that little space that's in between the rear of the truck and the bed, go right at it. But if you want to make it a little easier on yourself, especially if you don't have any lights hooked up yet, but the wiring can just be moved out of the way, this is the way to do it. So now we're going to find the Gladiator armor. All right, and focus that. You've seen it once, but I just want to make sure. There it is. We have 8 holes, so it means there's 8 separate holes we're going to have to drill into the body. We're going to get this set, then do the drilling. All right, so let's do that right now. So this is going to be hard to see. I'm going to try to get this in focus as well as I can, but this piece it fits right on. If you want to use, there's a line right here. There's a small line of debarkation or indentation right here. You want to use that as a guide. And if you butt that right up to that piece and get it centered as well as you can, that's going to give you a very good reference point as to where you want to mount this piece. And I'm going to try to use, there we go, use that little clamp right there. And I'm going to do one on each side so I can keep it as centered as possible, so when I drill my holes. So this is, I apologize again, this is hard to do at the angle that I'm at, but you'll see this once I'm finished, when we do the finished product, which you've already seen, how it looks. So I'm going to go ahead and drill my holes, and then I'm going to, apply the fasteners, give you a finished shot of the rear. All right, fam, so I finished up the rear, and let me be honest with you. This top-down view for this particular install is not where it's at because my lighting is not good and I can't really show you the detail of what I'm doing. So I'm going to change my camera angles again. But here's a quick shot of it, of how it's going to look as you're installing it. So we have 8 fasteners all installed, pretty much all as flush as I can, pretty much all as flush as I can get them. And you got the Gladiator right here on the back. It looks really cool. It'll look better in person. I'll take it out in the sun and take some photos as well. But here's the interior of that back half. See if I can get this into a good focus and bring this in. The lighting is not the best right now, but you can see there are 4 on each side. There's 4 of the fasteners with the nuts on them, and then 4 on the other side. So you're going to have to drill 8 holes, all right, in order to install this piece. And once you get done, it's going to look, pretty dope. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my angle of this camera setup, and I'm going to install the rest of the pieces on the rear. So let me go ahead and say this now. To make this simpler for yourself, I would go ahead and remove that rear bed liner like I did, because we're going to have to do some installs here and on the other side. And to get these places with that bed liner in there, with that bed in here, this space, it's going to be in the way. So you're probably going to have to take that off. There's that focus again. If you're going to have to take that off in order to make this easier for you. And I apologize again for this camera angle. This is the best I can do for now, but I'm going to change up, get a better angle, and go from there. So let's move on to the next pieces. All right, fam, we've come to the end of another one. Hopefully you found that video informative. I apologize up front for some of the angles because it is difficult to do this with all of these little bolts and fasteners that have to be, you have to drill your holes first, as you saw, and you also have to put your fastener through and then bolt it down from the rear side, the inside of the Lexan with a nut. It's hard to show that all on camera, but it's not hard to do. It's just hard to get the angles right. It's going to take a little bit of time. But again, if you're squeamish about it, don't try it, because if you make one mistake and have a whole lot of place, then your stuff is going to be looking all cattywampus and out of place and, just stupid nuts. But it gives the vehicle, it gives the SCX10.3, it gives this Gladiator a new look. It was already rugged, it already looked good, but it just gives it another dimension, another texture, another layer of cool and utility, because it's useful. This is going to protect your Lexan. Just get it real. This is aluminum, real metal, and it's going to protect. And it's bolted down nice and tight. It's not going anywhere. And you turn around to the back. The Gladiator, that looks really good. I like that. And I'm glad I just got this with the Gladiator embossed on the rear. I did not get any of the decal, the embossing on the armor plates for the sides, although you can do that. That is totally up to you if you choose to do that. He has these things in many different styles, and he can probably accommodate you for a custom fit. Again, the price I paid may be different than what you'll have to pay, but that's just the nature of the beast based off of what you choose to get. So check out my man over at HTECH Customs. HTECH Customs. I'm going to pop up, and I'm going to have in the description box below a link to his Instagram page. Shoot him a DM. Let him know what you want. Let him know that Jay Sinister Productions sent you. He'll hook you up. Okay, this cat's in South Korea. The shipping is pretty fast. He got here in about a week. A little bit over a week, if that. He mailed it out to me within 2 days, shot me tracking information, so I knew it was on the way. It's not a scam. This is legit, folks. So I'm going to put up also a web address that he has on the back of some of the packaging. Check him out. He's got other things. And speaking of, let me make a quick observation and point something out to you. On your SCX10, or most of your SCX10s and Jeeps for that matter, you have this built-in, and let me grab it real quick. Where did I put that? Here it is. So you have your built-in rock sliders, right? And your rock sliders, they have, back this up some, they have this piece right here that runs, actually I got the wrong one, let me keep it, there we go, made it up 1 for 1. We have this piece right here that runs along the bottom. Can you see this right here? Especially right here. You have these little cutouts, so to speak, where your Lexan body will fit down in this groove. Well, if you've noticed on the armor plating, there is an armor plate piece at the bottom down here. It's actually 2 pieces. This is 1 piece, and then this little bit right here is a 2nd piece. With those installed, you cannot use these rock sliders. These have to come off because if you can see, you know what, I think I had the right one in the first place. I did. Okay. So as you see here, it's not going to be able to work. It won't fit down in between this seam, this gap. So what you're going to have to do is remove these. And if you choose to, get some different rock sliders. And they go in right here. You got your little mounting positions, I believe, here and here. And you can mount up some of your own. This cat at HTECH Customs, he has some rock sliders that I think I'm going to invest in. I haven't contacted him yet. So if you'd like to see me get a set and install those and see what it looks like on the SCX10.3, drop me a comment below. Let me know if you'd like to see that. This is a cool upgrade, a simple upgrade, and a nice addition that anyone can do for their SCX10. Will set you out from the crowd. I did some run videos outside in my backyard. I'm having some work done in my backyard, so I got some obstacles to go over. Not a lot, not crazy, but I did that. I'm going to leave you with those videos plus a few photos. But again, thank you to everyone. And once again, Benjamin, if you're watching this video and you haven't contacted me, I'm going to check my email again tonight once I get through with this. If you haven't contacted me, I'm going to give you at least until Monday. Okay, Monday at 2 o'clock. Since we did this drawing Friday at 2 o'clock, I'm going to give you till Monday at 2 o'clock. Come on, man. Contact us. Let us know you're interested. We need your full name and address so we can send you the items you want. If by some chance I don't hear from you by Monday at 2 o'clock, YouTube fam, JSP Posse, we're going to rerun the giveaway for the rock lights. So if you have commented and have subscribed on the video for the rock light giveaway, we may be rerunning it, and I may be reaching out again with another video to say we have another winner. So Benjamin, it's in your best interest, partner. Let us know. We want to send these out to you. Ask Gregory Santos. His stuff is on the way as we speak. So fam, here's some parting video and a photo of the SCX10.3 with the new armor. This is the real armor up right here, baby. And as usual, I am Jay of Jay Sinister Productions. Excellent. Wait a minute. One more note. I need you all to do me a favor. I need you to go check out another YouTuber's page. I'm going to pop a card up right about now. Jerry's Old Guy Reviews. This is a fellow veteran, and although he wore the Army, ain't ready for the Marines yet uniform, and he's not of a higher caliber Air Force. I'm just kidding, Jerry. That's a joke. You know how we rib each other in the military. He's a vet. I'm a vet. He has a great channel. He's also doing a giveaway to 2 deserving individuals. You just can't get this, what he's giving away, because you want it. It must be for a deserving individual, and it's a good cause. So I need you to check out and subscribe to Jerry's Old Guy Reviews. He has a lot of 112th and 114th vehicles. He has a dope setup. He's out in Alaska, so he's got I've seen some of his rides, some of his run videos. He's got a pop-in setup, and I think you guys will like it. So do me a favor, pop by his page, leave a comment on his videos, tell him that Jay Sinister sent you, and check out his videos. Again, that's Jerry's Old Guy Reviews. He's also doing a holiday giveaway. I think that these 2 individuals who are going to get these 2 items, I'm not going to disclose what they are. You need to check his video out to see it. They will be very, very happy, whoever they may be. So Jerry's Old Guy Reviews, check it out. Dope channel. And as always, again, repeating myself, this is Jay of Jay Sinister Productions, exiting stage left.
He good. Must be good.
J Sinister Production.